Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys a few pretty great AFK money making methods, and I have a few combat AFK money methods, but I also include a few skilling ones as well, and we're going to be going over a total of 6 different AFK money making methods in this video. Anyway, let's just move on to the first method, which is killing Moosebuzz. So Moosebuzz do require 76 Slayer to actually kill, and you also require the World's Way quest to be completed for you actually to unlock the area where Moosebuzz are. So looking at the best kind of setup that you should use when going to kill Moosebuzz, you are definitely going to want to use magic, and you're going to want to use ancient magics as well, as it gives a 50% damage boost while killing Moosebuzz. So you can simply bring some pretty decent magic gear. It doesn't need to be your best. You can bring subjugation, it will work just fine here. You deal a lot of damage at Moosebuzz with the 50% bonus using ancient magic, so Soul Split should heal you up just fine, and you really won't need much food at all. Now, Moosebuzz are aggressive as long as you don't bring the Shard of Zeros, and you don't want to bring the Shard of Zeros simply because making them aggressive makes it more AFK, and you can kill a lot more per hour as well. Now, looking at some other things that you should bring, you should definitely bring a lot of prayer potions, just like most methods. You want to keep Soul Split going, and you can also have Torment going as well if you want. And for the drops, you will want to bring a Pack Yak and some Winter Storage Scrolls so you can send a few of the items straight to the bank. They drop a few dragon items, they drop some runes, but overall most of the money will be coming off the rune salvage and the dragon drops. Now, since you are using ancient magic, you can't use high alch, so you can bring the Winter Storage Scrolls, as I said earlier, and an alternative way to actually bank these is just to bring some magic notepaper if you want. And you can kind of do a combination of both because the Pack Yak doesn't always have all the summoning points for you to actually use the Winter Storage Scrolls, so a combination of both would probably be best when doing this method. So overall you can kill up to 700 Moosebuzz per hour depending on how fast you are actually doing it, and this should get you around 300 to 400,000 magic XP along with about 100,000 Constitution XP. And then you can expect anywhere from 4 to 5 mil per hour while doing this method. And moving on to the next method, we have killing corrupted creatures. Now first, corrupted creatures are located in the Sophnam Slayer dungeon, and you will need the feathers just to go in and actually kill the monsters, so you can buy them from the guard just outside of the dungeon. Now, it is important to check the chest. You want to toggle your auto loot. You want it to say the chest will now collect loot for you. And this is what makes this method so AFK. So you literally can just go in and kill them. You don't need to worry about drops because they will all go to your chest and you can collect them anytime you want. So for this method, you will want to bring some aggression potions and a lot of prayer potions as well. Soul Split is really important for this method, so I would highly recommend having that. And then just bring some pretty good melee gear. It doesn't need to be super good. I'm using a scythe along with some Elder Rune, so it's really not that great, and I'm not having a problem about this at all. And then looking at the action bar, as you can see, mine is set to my AFK action bar, so I have Hurricane, Quake, Smash, and Cleave as my first 4 abilities, and these are all area damage abilities as the scorpions will come in and I can do area damage on them. So you'll definitely want to have these abilities at the front of your action bar and use them very frequently. So this method is pretty simple. You just use the aggression pots over and over again and make sure Soul Split is continuing, and you should be just fine here. There is one thing that I should mention is that there is corruption when you're in the Slayer dungeon, so it will go up to 25%, and what this means is that you will be dealing 25% more damage, but you will also be taking 25% more damage as well. but if you do have Soul Split active, then this shouldn't really be a problem. Now there are a few drops that don't go straight to the chest. Now these are rare drops. So one is the Key to the Crossing, and this is a 1 in 400 drop while off task, and it is worth 350k, so it's a pretty nice drop to actually obtain. And then the other two are extremely rare, like 1 in 10,000 drops, and it is the Corrupted Gem and the Kopesh, and they're worth under 1 mil each, so they're not really super expensive, but you should definitely pay somewhat attention as to if you actually get one of these drops or not. And especially the Scorpions do deal some pretty high damage on you if you aren't paying attention and your prayer is drained, so definitely watch out for that. And also there are many different Slayer creatures in the Sophnam Slayer dungeon. However, the Corrupted Scorpions are the best because they deal melee damage, so you can do the area damage while killing them, which makes this method much more AFK than any other creature in the dungeon. Now, one last thing that I would like to mention is that Corrupted Scorpions do require 88 Slayer to actually kill, and you can expect 2 to 3 mil per hour while killing them. So now this next method is a classic. It is going to be Abyssal Demons, and I have went over Abyssal Demons in a few of my other guides. I even have a separate Abyssal Demon AFK guide on my channel, so I will be linking that down below. And I won't be going into too much detail in this video, but I will go over some of the key points. So first off, the best spot to kill Abyssal Demons is in the Slayer Tower on the top floor. Now recently there has been an update to a resource dungeon at the front of the Slayer Tower, so this does require, I believe it's 101 dungeoneering, so you will need that if you want to enter the resource dungeon there. There are some Abyssal Demons in there as well, and it's probably a lot less populated as this area is, since this area is usually busy and there's a lot of people trying to get the spot at one time. Now, looking at your loadout, you will want to bring some aggression potions as well as a bunch of prayer potions as well. And you want to use melee gear. You can also use mage if you want, just anything with some area effect damage. And then to gather up the drops, you will want to bring your spring cleaner, and this is for the rune drops. So set it so it can hide out all the rune drops, possibly a few adamant drops. It does have a few adamant drops that would be profitable if you did alch them. However, that kind of does depend. And that really should be it for the drops. If you have a gem bag, you should bring that. You can just pick up the gems easily using that. And one other big tip is that you should have your area loot on, so you can simply click on any of the loot around you, and this will allow you to collect all the drops much easier. And another tip that would be really useful for this method is have the Demon Slayer perk on your weapon. It will increase your damage on the Abyssal Demons by a lot, and it will increase your kills per hour by quite a bit. So anyway, I will be going into further depth in my Abyssal Demon AFK guide that I will be linking down below. So if you guys want any more information on this method, definitely check that video out. So now moving on to a more relaxing AFK moneymaker, and that is going to be cutting elder trees. And this is definitely a AFK moneymaker that I did a lot when I was a mid-level with 90 plus woodcutting. And 90 woodcutting really is the only requirement for this method. Now, a few tips to make this method a little bit better. You can bring your Dwarven Chain Axe if you have one. You can obtain these from the Treasure Hunter, and what it does, it allows you to harvest 2 logs at a time, so twice as many logs, but the only downside is you get no XP, so it is only if you really are just going for profit, but it does help a lot for that. And then another little tip is to bring the Beaver Familiar. It does add a +2 woodcutting boost, which will help while you're woodcutting. Now you can cut an elder tree for about 5 minutes, and it will take 10 minutes to regrow, which means you will only need to have about 3 different elder trees that you need to go to. So this one right here is in Varrock. It's simply just east of the Varrock lodestone, not too far. So you can go to this one, and then there's also one south of the Edgeville lodestone. So there's one there as well. There's also one in Yanil, and those are typically the three that I prefer to go to. However, there's also one in Draenor and a few other places as well. And moving on to this next method, we have fishing. So fishing is a pretty AFK skill, and you can actually make some money off it depending on what you are fishing. So you can expect about 500k to 800k per hour depending on which type of fish you are actually fishing. And so the most profitable fish to catch are actually located on the deep sea fishing platform. And to travel here, you will want to go to the fishing guild and travel using Guma. And here is a list of a few profitable fish. So you have sailfish, which is the best, and you can actually sell them for about 2k each, and you can make about 800k profit per hour. However, it does require 96 fishing. And then there is blue blubber jellyfish, which is also located on the deep sea fishing platform. And you can actually make up to 900k per hour fishing these, and it requires 91 fishing. And then next is rocktail, and rocktail has significantly decreased in price, so they're down below 2k now. So you can only expect about 200 300k per hour, and you require 90 fishing. So rocktail isn't really a great option. And then at 76 fishing, so if you are a lower fishing level, you can fish shark for about 300k profit. And the best spot to do this, I think, is in the fishing guild, as there's a bank really close. And so fishing isn't really the best GP per hour, but it is a pretty relaxing way to make a little bit of cash while you are AFK. And you also get some fishing XP as well, which really does add up, as fishing is a pretty tough skill to grind out 99 for. And now moving on to the sixth and last method in this guide, we have mining. So mining is actually an amazing moneymaker now that the mining smithing rework is out. And you can actually get up to 1 mil per hour while mining. And it is extremely AFK, especially if you have the Grace of the Elves necklace. And it is so AFK because you can charge up to 500 sign of porters using your necklace. So you can actually teleport 500 different ores to your bank. And here's just a list of some of the ores that you can mine. Now the best one is obviously Dark Animica at 90 mining. It sells for 3,200. Light Animica is also really good. However, it is a little bit lower in price than the Dark Animica. So the Dark Animica is located in the Empty Throne Room mine near the dig site. So if you do want to mine that, that is there. And you can get up to 1 mil per hour mining that, which is really, really great. And it is really AFK. The rocks do not deplete now, so you simply only need to click every few seconds to replenish your stamina bar. However, it is not required. You can actually just let your guy mine for as long as you want till you log out, and using your Grace of the Elves necklace, it will teleport all the ores straight to your bank, so you actually don't need to do anything. Just keep the computer on, move your mouse, and you'll be making about 1 mil per hour while being completely AFK, which is why mining is an amazing AFK moneymaker, and one of my favorites now that the Mining and Smithing rework has been released. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video and that you found a method that you guys could actually use while you are AFK on RuneScape. I personally use a lot of these methods when I am AFK just to make a little bit of extra cash on the side. But anyway guys, if you did like the video, please hit that like button because it does really help, and subscribe for more RuneScape 3 content. But anyway guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.